Well, credit is the key to your future, but did you know that credit can also affect your car insurance rates? What about unpaid parking tickets? Well, guess what? Those things could also affect your credit as well. We're joined now by a credit specialist and expert who's here to break down some of the things that you need to know. We're going to bring it back every now and then to help us to get the economic side, credit side of your life right. And we're pleased to welcome Andy Suku, who is the founder and CEO of Y2K Solutions. And we thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me back, Darren. It's
Good.
a pleasure.
Hey, it's good. Listen, we're talking credit, and it's important because as we get ready for the end of the year, a lot of people got New Year's plans and stuff like that. And credit is definitely the key, and having a good score makes all the difference. We hear a lot about FICO scores. So break down for us a little bit about what that FICO score actually is.
That's actually a good question you have, and that you brought it up. A lot of consumers don't realize what makes up a FICO score. What is a FICO score? A FICO score is a 3-digit numerical number that's created by an automated system to tell you likeliness of if you're going to potentially default on paying back your debts and your obligations to the creditors, right? So the higher the score is, you're going to have more credit. You'll be a better potential. You'll be more credit worthy. The lower the credit score is, they're going to charge you more rates and so forth.
Mm-hmm. So what actually makes up a FICO score? People talk about, you know, the number. We see the number,
Correct.
But there's stuff that makes up the number.
Yeah, it's dissected into parts, right? So we have 35% of that is your payment history. So if you make one late payment, it's 35% of your credit history right there. So your score is going to drop tremendously. 30% of that is your debt. So if you carry a high debt, if you remember the last time I was here on the show, I was telling consumers, we're speaking about how much credit you should use. 30% used, 70% available. So with 30% being part of your debt calculated in your score, it's a big amount, right? 15% of the length of history. So closing out old credit cards is not a good idea. You should just cut them up, pay them off, keep them zero balance, put them away, don't use them. But if you close it, you lose time. 10% is new increase. Every time you apply for credit and you get denied, whether you get approved or denied, it's 10% of that. And the final 10% is based off of the type of credit you have, revolving installments.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said it's easy for your score to go down, it's very hard for your score to go up. Agree, disagree?
That's very true, very positive. Because think about it now, you have X amount of credit available, right? You use it, but you have other cards that you're using also. So it's never going to be a zero balance at all the time. So it's going to revolve, revolve, revolve. So, you know, we advise clients to use one card at a time. Don't have balances on all the cards. Use one, pay it off, and then continue use another card, pay it off.
So if I don't pay my debt, because, you know, to some people, I'll get to it when I get to it, I'll deal with it when I do. Right. And there are people out there who watch and say, this is the way to operate.
Right.
But if I don't do that, what happens?
Well, actually, that's a new trend that's going on in the industry now. Collectors can actually sue you for your debts. Before 2011, it was going to collection agency, travel to another agency, travel to another agency. But now what's happening that the collector can actually obtain a judgment against you. They can sue you, and they can actually ask the court to enforce a wage garnishment or a bank levy to enforce the judgment. Wow. So you can get sued now for it.
And now there's breaking news because we're talking now about car insurance premiums, and credit and car insurance
Correct.
Premiums are now going hand in hand. I know you've had a first-hand experience with that as well.
Yes. Actually, we tested it to make sure it was a valid statement and so forth. But Consumer Report posted an article about 2 months ago how what the FICO score is in your credit score. Insurers are creating a similar model. It's a score model, but if you have bad credit score, your insurance is going to be higher. If you have a good credit score, they're going to rate you lower. So, but each insurance company is creating their own scoring model for that. But yes, bad credit can affect your car insurance tremendously.
Right. And what about unpaid parking tickets? We're talking about this.
Oh man, that's a very good topic. And you know, $20 here, $50 here, we don't think about it, right? It's just a parking ticket. It's a red light ticket, but it's actually being treated as a regular debt. So if you don't pay those debts after 3 months, it can appear on your credit report. And unpaid, they can suspend your license, but it also drops your credit score because it's considered a debt. Remember I said 30% of your debt, of your credit score is made up from debts. So it's unnecessary debt you don't want to have. So I highly suggest that people try to take care of these tickets before it gets on your credit report.
So what we're seeing is basically a trend where more stuff is now actually hitting the credit report.
That's correct.
And more stuff now can possibly bring you down.
That's correct.
Pun intended.
That's correct. And you know, if you think about it, you run through a red light camera, they zap your plates. They don't know who's driving, so they can't penalize a person, but the plates is linked to your social security number. And that's how it gets on your credit report. if you don't pay it in 3 months.
So it's a lot that you can do to kind of like
Yes.
mess it up. So
And the thing about it is that it's just being irresponsible for the small things, you know. So you want to just those things you can handle. You don't have to let it go past and just forget about it.
well, I want to bring you back, and we come back next month. We'll talk a little bit about how to fix this premium pricing, because a lot of people
Yes.
are really struggling with premium pricing
Correct.
and how do I get the right premium and what's the best thing. I know
Correct.
that you can and help us with that coming up next month. What are some things we need to know right now that you want to tell our viewers?
Check your credit report annually. You can get a free copy from annualcreditreport.com, but understand what's going on there. If you find a flaw on there and you fix it, have your score rescored, because if that negative information is on there and it's already paid, it can still affect your score, right? But it's not being updated. There's a miscommunication between the credit bureaus and the creditors. So check your report annually. Try to stay away from credit cards that insurers penalize consumers for. Department store cards, Pep Boys card, tire store, the neighborhood cards. Don't get involved with those. Try to stay with banks of like American Express, Discover, Amex, those guys. That's where you want to stay.
So those are the best things to stay away from. And if you want to get a credit card, which ones should the ones that I'm getting?
It all depends on your credit score, right? Because every credit card company have their own scoring model of how they approve you for credit card. But you want to stick with companies that are giving you 1% interest rate, balance transfer 0%, and so forth. Like American Express, Discover, Barclay, those are really good cards that you should apply to if your credit score is up to par.
Okay, so now if people want to find out more about Y2K Solutions, tell them a little bit about what you do before we get out of here.
Oh, awesome. So we're a debt settlement and credit repair company. We service the major banks, the industry, the music industry. Our website is www.y2kcreditsolutions.com. We're located in Great Neck, New York. Our local number is 516-568-4541. We have a lot of credit specialists that can assist you. We're running a special right now for the holiday season, a free credit report, tri-merge, and a free consultation. So if you call us, end of the day, even if you don't resolve the issues on your credit, at least you have education. You know what's going on with your credit, and you can create a plan, or we can help you create a plan to moving forward to resolve it.
Andy Suku, founder and CEO of Y2K Business Solutions. Of course, we'll have to come back and share with us a little bit more about the credit and what you really need to know as we move towards the new year. I know it's something that a lot of us want to get ready, get right, and of course we'll bring Andy back and he'll be able to share with us. Andy Suku, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us here. All right, breaking news out of Iowa. We reported just a little while ago that police were looking for Scott Michael Green, who was suspected in the killing of 2 Iowa police officers. Police are now reporting that Walker has been arrested and in custody. Well, we've come to the end of our show. We thank our guests for joining us, and most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the Recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Cablevision's Channel 67. If not, catch us on Varieties and Files. That's going to be Channel 33, and anytime on the web at BronxNet.org. I'm Darren Hyman. Definitely, it's been a pleasure coming to your homes. Stay safe, and most of all, keep your channel, this channel, wide open. Take care, and God bless.